Hello and welcome to Channels Book Club. I'm Olakunle Kasumo. Thank you for joining us once again. We hope you have been keeping safe from COVID-19. Please let's not get careless. The numbers are spiking again in some parts of the world. Fortunately for us in Nigeria, that has not been the case, but we must all remain very vigilant. And to everyone out there taking a stand against police brutality with the hashtag #EndSARS and End Police Brutality and peaceful protests. Well done. It's great to see citizens rising up to take a stand for something so important in the life of a nation. Hopefully, this will lead to the reforms required to improve the police and the country at large. Now, we promised to resume our teaser segment today, so let's keep that promise. Before we took a break, we started explaining the different parts of a book. We explained preface, foreword, introduction. Let's focus on one more today, and we'll continue next week. Index. What is index? You will usually find indexes at the back of non-fiction books. Fiction books don't have indexes. It is an optional part of a book. You don't have to have an index part in your book. However, it is often a good idea to have that section in a non-fiction book. The index acts as a sort of map to the mentions of and references to major topics and people throughout the work, indicating the specific page numbers on which they appear. A long index entry often breaks down with task descriptions of the mentions. It might list an individual's name, then indicate birth of, education of, marriage of, followed by the corresponding pages. Basically, an index helps you to find your way around a book. You might have a book this thick, and you are thinking, where is Buhari mentioned in this book? Or where is Donald Trump mentioned in this book? Or where is Mr. Chukwuma mentioned in this book? The quickest way is to go to the index, check, and fortunately, it is usually arranged in alphabetical order. You just check, and you find the page number, you go there, and you're able to read. So if you are writing a non-fiction book, consider having an index section at the back. There are professionals who specialize in creating indexes. They are called indexers. It can be a very tough job, although there are software these days that help you create indexes very quickly. But when it is complex, then you need somebody who can actually do it very well. I hope that helps. Now, let's get to meet our guest author of the week. Our guest author today has one of the most traumatic stories you will ever hear, a story that exposes how deep, callous, and evil the human heart can be. Now, try to imagine, if you can, a 5-year-old girl sexually abused by her stepdad, not once, but repeatedly. Imagine the abuse becoming actual rape when she turned 7, and that continuing until she was 14. What I have said only captures a fraction of Fatima Ishiaku's difficult, heart-wrenching story. Are you aware that sexual abuse and rape are common occurrences among fathers and daughters, brothers and sisters, friends, bosses and subordinates, and so on in Nigeria? This may sound unbelievable to us, but not to the victims. Fortunately, the good thing here is that the story of our guest author, Fatima Ishiaku, did not end in tragedy. Fatima found redemption. She found help. And above all, she found the courage to tell her story, which is extensively captured in this, her debut book, titled I Call Him Dad. She joined us to discuss her book and experience as an abused child. Please be warned, Fatima's descriptions get graphic at times. But this is one narrative everyone needs to hear. Please don't go away.
My name is Fatima Ada Ishiaku. born December 25th in Kaduna State, Nigeria. I grew up with a man I thought was my dad, not knowing he wasn't my dad. I was sexually abused before the age of 7 till I was 14 years old. How I almost killed myself, how I live on alcohol, how my mother treated me badly. Now I'm using my story to help victims like me, to help them break their silence by speaking out, and also to let the world know what sexual abuse get go through, mostly in Nigeria. And also to let people know that victims should not be bullied. I believe my book will help victims speak out and also open the eyes of society to see what victims go through. That way, people can help them and not bully them. Mothers in Africa believe victims should keep quiet because they see this act as a taboo, while the victim died in silence. This book is about saving the girl child and breaking the silence. My name is Fatima Ishaku.
Fatima, nice to have you on Channels Book Club.
Thank you for having me. It's a honor.
And it's great to see you smiling. It's great to see you smiling. Yeah, because, when you read this book, you just wonder, if you've never met the author, you just wonder, it's a very traumatic story.
It is.
Although it's also a story of victory, the way you came out of it and found the courage, to move on with your life. It's an inspiring story for anybody.
Yes, it is.
But we'll come to the story itself. I'm curious to know how you wrote this book, how you found the courage to write this book.
Okay, it wasn't an easy thing. If people just, she has that courage. I never had the courage to do that. It wasn't an easy thing for me to do. It was 2016 when I went for my friend Dorit Ariole movie premiere, The Benevolence, and there was also an actress that was also showcasing her movie, Doris Simon, and she had a movie that's been sponsored by UNICEF or so. And in that movie, her father defied her. She became pregnant and had a child. But later, that child died of malaria. And when it comes to question and answer, our parents in diaspora are not talking about the malaria. They were not talking about the child abuse, that she was raped. They were only talking about the malaria aspect. And it affected me as a victim of sexual abuse. And I know what it has cost me. It has cost me relationship. It has cost me engagement. It cost me a lot. It cost me my mental health. So I was like, why were our parents in diaspora are still shying away from the truth? That was when I raised my hand up. And the owner of where they had the event, it is called Trademark Art Gallery in Orlando, told them to give me the mic. They gave me the mic. And I said, this movie is not about malaria. I'm not trying to criticize your work. The main key here has to do with the rape.
That's the story.
Yes. I said, what are your people? You guys are celebrity. What are you guys doing about rape in Nigeria? It is so bad. I feel so bad. Immediately, I became pale. I said, look at me. I'm a victim of sexual abuse. What our parents in diaspora are shying away from the truth. And I said, this movie is not only about child malaria. There's a key element here. People are suffering, dying. I said, what are you celebrating doing about it? I said, we're doing a loss. I'm getting an NGO. I said, that's the same thing. Say no to rape, say no to rape, without a message, without nothing. That was how I said, look at me. I'm a victim of sexual abuse. I'm still suffering the pain even to date.
Was that the experience that gave you the inspiration to now write the book?
No. Then an American professor, Raphael Jackson,
who was present.
That was how he discovered me and said to me, you know what? I didn't go to America to write. I went for holidays at my friend movie premiere. And I said, you need to write a book and do a movie about your story. I said, no, I'm not going to do it. He said, you will. It's like force. It's like...
he just put you under pressure.
Yes.
He never let go.
Yes, you must.
And then, eventually you wrote.
Yes, he said, do you know what the girl child go through in your country? Do you know the rate of rape? What do you want to be? I said, I might have a passion to be a nurse. And he said, you want to help? I said, yes. He said, do this. He said, probably this is your destiny. You have that courage. Do it. I said, people will mock me, it cost me 2 engagements. I said, they are not for you. I will back you. He's like 60-something years old man. He said, I will back you. I will support you. Go ahead. I said, no. He took my number. The next day, he called me.
You again.
He said, there's a writer waiting for you. You're coming to the studio. I said, I don't want to, but it wasn't easy. It was very traumatic because at the end of the day, I summoned the courage to do it.
To write.
Yes. First of all, we started recording. Then few months for the book to come out, the person that started writing my story died.
Oh my goodness.
Of cancer. I was right. That was his name. He died of cancer. So, and I couldn't get my material. I couldn't get anything because I was flawed and everything destroyed in his house. Then I had to come back to Nigeria.
Fatima, we'll come back to... because somebody's watching out there and wondering, okay, what's the story? To put this story behind the story into context, let's talk about the story.
Okay.
This is a book about a girl,
yes,
Fatima, that was sexually abused from the age of 5 by her stepdad.
Yes, she thought he was her dad.
Tell us that story.
Okay, I grew up with a man that I thought was my father. And at the age of 5, because I remember vividly where he said to me, say, you're not a small girl now, you're going to be 5 in a few days. And that word kept ringing in my ears. And he told me to lie down. So he kept using his hand on me for 2 years. Anytime he tried to penetrate.
At age 5?
Yes. Anytime he tried to penetrate inside me, he couldn't penetrate inside of me. So it was just, but at the age of 7, that was when the first rape started. And he threatened me that if I tell my mother, he will kill me, he will kill my mother. He always have this little knife that you have with spoon and you bend. So you say, I will kill you, I'll kill your mother. Sometimes you say, this is a figurine that represents you and your mother. The day you open your mouth, tell your mother, I'll kill you. I'll kill your mother. I went through that all by myself. It's a continual process whereby I was being raped, and if I tried to pass...
It was not a one-time experience.
No, it wasn't. It was continued. I became like a sex slave. I'm just there like a dog whenever he wants me. I'm just there. My mother is always traveling, and sometimes even when she's around, she's downstairs doing her business, and sometimes I'll be down upstairs, you know.
Fatima, wait, I know, I mean, you always tear up when you talk about this.
And I won't tear up today.
You are already, you know, and it's understandable. Anybody, you know. You were living in the army barracks.
Yes, military cantonment.
Right there in Lagos.
Yes.
I mean, when I was reading it, I was just picturing always driving past the place. Right there.
Yes.
At Maryland, Ikeja.
Exactly.
It was a one-room apartment.
Yes, of course.
For your stepdad, who was a military man.
Yes.
And by the way, your real dad was also a military man.
Yes.
And he died when you were...
No. My dad
You never met him?
I don't know who my dad is, but later I met him after my late brother, Yehuza. That's how I met him. I went to look for him.
Oh, he's still alive?
No, he died a few years ago.
Oh, okay, so he was alive then, but you didn't know him?
I don't know him. I thought this man was my father.
Okay, so both of them were military officers?
Yes.
So your stepdad was assigned that room?
Yes.
Where he now puts his wife, your mother?
Yes, we have it's a room that is demarcated.
Just one room?
Yes.
They put a curtain?
Yes, they put a curtain to demarcate.
To indicate one
yes,
room?
Yeah, but it's big, yes. So my parents stay in the other side. We stay on this side.
How many of you were in that one?
Then we're 3. Me, my sister, and my younger brother. My mom don't had kids for him then. He started defiling me even before my mom started having children for him.
So it was happening in that room?
Yes, it started in that room. That was when he started using his finger on me.
Then it got worse when you were 7?
When I was 7.
Okay, go on with that story.
So when I was 7, and I changed, because I used to be this calm and girl, and later I became so... I was tired. It wasn't a pain that I can wish upon anybody. It was... And when I even tried to tell my mom, she would just like... She doesn't give me that listening...
That's the part I found...
Yeah, she doesn't give me that listening ear, and sometimes she just push me, like, let's go, leave this place. You know, because he has already create enmity between me and my mother. One time he beats me so badly when my mother came back, and my mother asked him, why did you beat Fatih this way? He told my mother that he saw me kissing a boy. My mother believed what he told her. And so many times, if you see, I have this mark on my hand. My mother was the one that gave me this mark. And she said to me, this is one of the things that always made me tear up. Okay, I promise I won't. She said to me, she said, the day you start having children, when your children see this hand, they'll ask you what happened. You tell them that I did this to you. And this mark is one of the things that when I look at, it reminds me of what I
Brings back the
memory. It is no more what my stepfather did to me, because I have forgiven him, because he begged for forgiveness, because I know that forgiveness is like cancer. It will also destroy me. So I had to forgive him. I just look at it as my destiny.
But that was years later.
Yes, you know. But I forgive him truly. I forgive and forgive, but it wasn't from the depth of my heart. The depth of my heart, the forgiveness came when I wrote this book. But the mark my mother put on me is what is still bringing back the trauma. Sometimes she break my hair, sometimes she cut my vagina and put pepper and say that I'm a useless girl. And I started running away from home at a very tender age.
It reads like, and you sound like you were even more hurt by
my mother
than him.
Yes.
Because she never listened to you.
She never listened to me. So if she was more attentive to me and she knew the daughter that she gave birth to, and she would know that something is wrong. She would know. Because of what I have been through with my mother, I tend to hold pains. You know, even when people do me things, I endure pain as a child. So till now, I hold pains. You understand me? I endure a lot of pain from my mother, from my stepfather, and so even when people do me a lot of things, and I hold that pain. So sometimes I just go into the house and I cry, and if she has listened, I won't endure those pain that I had to go through in life. Till when I was 14, she now called me and said that it was a miracle. I just feel God wants her to know that something was good. And her sister told her, she said, you keep beating this girl, you keep beating her. You need to find out why this calm girl changed from this girl to this girl. Why do you keep beating her? And I will not listen.
Fatima, you didn't have, reading through, you really didn't have anybody to talk to. I mean, you understand what I mean by
yeah.
You were like alone.
I was alone.
For so many years, for such a young person.
Yeah.
And the abuse was
constant.
There was a time you wrote that
Monday to Sunday.
Monday, morning.
Afternoon. Now, most when my mother travel.
Evening.
Yes.
What was wrong with him?
I don't know. I keep asking. When I saw my biological dad, I asked him, I said, did you do anything to this man? Apparently, they knew each other.
They did?
Yes, in the same block in Kaduna. So we don't know how my mother left my father to follow him. My mother had her own kind of secret also, whereby she had another child from her first marriage, which she didn't tell us. That was Onyebuchi, the one that came to defraud me also. She didn't tell us that she had another child from another marriage. Even my stepfather did not know about it. So when I went back to meet my father and I told him what happened to me, and I was so pained by my father's reaction, because apparently he's a gambler. So look at the family that I came from. He is a gambler. I feel, and he's very aggressive, but I was told he doesn't drink, but he's a gambler. And he doesn't humanize. For a Muslim, he believes in just one wife. When my mother left, that was when he married sorry, I promise I wasn't going to tell.
No.
So when my mother left him, he married the other wife, and he's not a two-man woman, but he gambles a lot. That's where he's spending all his resources. And he's very violent. So, but I told he has never hit a woman before. But when I went to the village, the way he treated, my father is from Kebbi State, the way he treated his wife, I didn't believe that he has never hit a woman.
Fatima, this is a really tough one. One of the things I also noticed there from your book, and not just your book, your involvement. I mean, you found the courage to write this, and you've turned it into a campaign.
Yes.
You know, inspiring, telling the stories of other young girls. You know, getting the word out there, forcing a conversation around this very difficult topic, and you've been doing that. How prominent, how prevalent is this problem?
It has been there. Look, it has been there, but like I said, a COVID came with a lot of blessing, whereby during this COVID, you notice that a lot of rape case between father and daughters, boss and maid, it has came out. It has been there. Parents did not notice. They did not. You see, I keep telling people, I say, a protest without a message is useless. Everybody keeps protesting. What are you protesting for? Say no to rape. What are your message?
What's the message?
What is the message? Some people say to me, Fatima, forget it's a past story. You were not the one that's been raped. I was the one that went through trauma. I had the scar, not you. What is the message are you passing to mothers? What is the mistake that mothers are doing that are making their children vulnerable to rape? Everybody wants to come out and say no to rape, just to be known for something. What is the message? How can a mother know that her child is being abused? What is those little mistakes that our mothers are doing that are making our children vulnerable to rape? Why can't parents listen? At least it's not only the girl child that's been raped. I run an NGO and I get information where men rape boys. So this thing is so bad that I'm so lucky that I had Women FM Radio that gave me their platform, that I always go to speak and talk about, educate mothers, and I do videos. Sometimes I post. During the COVID, I did a video. I had to pay Facebook ad to share that video. And I said, this time, there will be a lot of rape. This is the time not to send your children out, not to go to visitor. Be vigilant. Watch your child body movement. You should know your child. Because now clubs are not open, hotels are not open. People are desperate, no money. People take all this kind of drink that enhance their sex drive. Now, when they look for somebody to read, they'll go for their child. So please be vigilant, parents. Do you know, about only 2 people shared that video. And I had to do a Facebook ad for the video to go viral. When it happened, people start calling me, are you a prophet? But everything you keep saying is...
Yeah, they're all happening now.
Because I use myself as a case study. I didn't go to do a research on rape. I'm using myself as a case study. I'm using my mother. I'm using my stepfather.
Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of time, Fatima, so much to talk about. Yeah, I'm happy you found help, both spiritual and professional. I'm happy you found strength,
yes,
and faith, and you are inspiring people. Personally, nothing inspires me in this world than people, who hit rock bottom, and then they use their stories, they use their experiences to begin to, encourage and inspire other people.
Thank you very much.
So you are a hero. Well done. Well done.
Thank you.
I mean, when I was writing this, the first time we saw off camera.
Yes.
The first question I asked you was, how did you write this book? How can anybody write this book? When I was reading, I was like, how can anybody write this book? It's difficult, So
it is not easy.
Yeah. So well, it's really great to have you on Channels Book Club.
Thank you.
And all your ambassadorial work. The Oni of Ife just made you an
yes,
ambassador.
Yes. Thank you, Kabesi. Yes. To Kwimoremi Ajasero Say No to Rape campaign.
Say no to rape campaign. You are now the ambassador.
Yes, I'm now the ambassador. And so I'm also going to start having my own talk show, Talk to Fatima on rape with Women FM. So I'm excited. I think I'm doing the right thing. So whoever wants my book, you can get it on my website as houseoffatima.org or Glendora Bookshop at ShopRite or Okwida Book at GRA.
Don't worry, they will find. I'm personally recommending this to everybody out there. Just go and find this book.
You promise you will not make me tear up. But you did.
Very nice to have you on Channels Book Club.
Thank you for having me.
Nice to have you here.
Thank you so very much. Thank you.
Very, very moving story, isn't it? My heart goes out to every person out there that is a victim of sexual abuse. I hope Fatima has given you the courage to seek help and perhaps speak out. This is where we have to end the show today. We'll be delighted to get your feedback through any of our social media platforms displayed on your screen. I'm Olakunle Kasumo. Remember, one great book and change your life. Bye-bye.